It's time for Brewers baseball.
Boom.
Or something like that. Probably all basketballed out by this time, right? Time of night. Like, it's time to. All the free agents have signed, except Michael Conforto. Poor guy.
Is he just hanging still? I didn't even notice that.
Supposedly, he turned down like a lot. I forget what it was, but triple digit in millions offer from the Mets, I think, before last season. And he was like, nah. I mean, he's a Boris guy, right? So he's like, we'll see how it goes. Like,
So he's going to wind up signing one of those 1 year, 13 mil.
Yeah, probably in Colorado somewhere, right? Where you can get like 50 homers. And
meanwhile, that's the smart play.
Colorado loses all their talent, doesn't trade it at the deadline to get anything they can keep, and then signs Chris Bryant to like an $8 billion contract because he'll be the lone lily pad in that ocean of AAA call ups, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If he catches a little bit of fire, though.
Oh yeah, his numbers will be great. He's already got his ring, so who am I to say where he should sign? But I remember when it was, I think wasn't it Mike Hampton was from Colorado.
Oh,
and
man.
He went there. He's one of the first big free agent pitchers to say, I'm gonna tame Coors Field.
Well, they also pulled up with a dump truck full of money.
Well, oh yeah. It wasn't
that wasn't a hometown deal. Let's put it that way.
All things being equal, but we're almost 30 years in, and ain't nobody tamed Coors Field yet. So.
All I want though is Giancarlo Stanton for even like half a season in Coors. That's right. All I want to see. Just him, just one-handed, just him getting fooled, a little one-handed swing out on the outside of the plate, just 30 rows deep.
I remember when Denver was a AAA team, I think for the Brewers, big-time prospect Joey Meyer hit one that probably, I would say it still hasn't landed yet, but they changed the seat it hit because it went like 560 or something. And so it was like minor league stadium, right? They don't have 3 decks, but maybe second deck right field, second to last row. And they changed the color of the seat that Joey Meyer hit way back in the day because it was Yeah, it was like the Ice Bowl up in Green Bay, where the stadium sat like 25,000, but 400,000 people claimed they were at that game. Oh, I was at that game, boy. Well. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. But keeping it in a Brewer state of mind, one of the things that we're probably a little lapse at, and we have missed a couple of podcasts this season due to some travel and some holidays and things like that. But we really do try to get every team featured on a game of the week at least once during the season. So when we looked at the schedule this week and said, okay, of the matchups we have, which has 2 teams that haven't been on yet this year? And what looked like the best matchup was the Brewers at the Red Sox. 2 teams a little bit back in their divisions, but a lot of talent trying to get back in the hunt. And I was super excited because Boston's got like the pitching chimera to die for, right? All in their prime. Cy Young, Pedro Martinez, Roger Clemens. Like, dude. And tonight we get none of those guys. We get Carl Mays. All right, Carl. 5-6, 4.78. All right. Well, maybe we'll see some fireworks, maybe. And then Milwaukee is much improved this year because they got a lot of their young pitchers added to their staff. So Corbin Burns and Freddie Peralta and Brandon Woodruff immediately strengthened their rotation. They didn't have any of those guys in it last year.
But is it Teddy Higuera? Did we get him?
Okay. But an eagle-eyed Brewer fan earlier in the year said, "How come there's no Pete Vukovich on the staff?" And you can't get all of them. And that's why we love fan feedback, because a diehard Brewer fan would look at that roster and go, "I don't see Pete." And I'm not that familiar with Pete, but we looked him up, and sure enough, he belongs on. So they added 4 starters to their staff to go with Teddy Higuera and push Chris Bosio, the former ace, out.
He's out of the rotation now.
He's in the minors now. But the way it actually shakes out today, we get Jovani Gallardo, I think, who's been good actually in the game, but he hasn't started that much. 4-1 with a 2.95. So that's our pitching matchup from Fenway Park. I went out, got a brand new picture of Fenway because the old one was kind of grainy. So it's a real good field to play on today. But before we go, let me get in here and share the screen.
Hey, Rob had a couple questions here. Let's see. Louis Tiant
has been terrible this year.
Has it been bad?
Yeah, good mustache though. Yeah. No, Tiant is available. I think he's pitching out of the pen for Boston, but not real good this year. Tiant has actually been kind of poor in both seasons, so not sure what's up with El Tiante. But looking here at our the week that was, we've got the same division leaders running each place, but we'll look at how close they are. But the one I'm really calling out, the Expos, who I'm a big fan of, came into the weekend 3 games back of Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is just has had their ace sidelined due to overuse for 2 weeks. So Grover Alexander, who's like 17-2 or something like that, missed this whole series, and Montreal won the first 2 games, and now they're only 1 game back of the Phillies in the East.
That would be a very cool story.
Pretty cool. And the Expos were awful last year, and I was hoping they'd be a little more competitive. So I feel bad for pretty much any city that loses a team where it wasn't the fans' fault. If the fans don't come out, that's on you. But the same thing. Even as a Steeler fan, when Cleveland lost to the Browns, fans didn't deserve that, right? Like, come on. So I feel for Montreal. I was happy to see them back in our Eternal Baseball Season 1, but they were just not competitive. Not good at all. But this year, due to mainly a bump in their starting pitching, they are more competitive. And they're maybe the only team that'll never get better statistically, right? None of their guys are going to have a super hot year on the MLB field this year and help bump their numbers in internal baseball. They're not going to acquire any more talent. It is what it is. And so I was hoping that what it is good, or at least semi-competitive, and it wasn't last year, but this year it is. So we'll see. That 3-game series wraps up tomorrow. We'll see if Montreal can come all the way back, and I always thought that was kind of the killer of a 3-game set, right? If you're chasing, that you pretty much have to sweep, because even if you take 2 out of 3, you gain 1 game, and it's like, oof, hard to gain any traction without making a big dent. But this is the week that was. We're out here in week 16 of our Eternal Baseball schedule, and so you've got some highlights and some lowlights. The Cubs absolutely fell off the rails at 0-6.
And they're under 500. That's amazing.
Yeah, following up a pair of 2 and 4 weeks for a team that tied for the North title, won it in a playoff, and then won that first round match. Damn near went to the World Series or the Eternal Series last year. But the Cubs are struggling right now, and some of those games, I think they dropped to the Reds, who are red hot, 5-1 following up a 4-2 week. The Astros are getting peppy and trying to chase down the Braves. The Marlins continue to struggle. The Expos were hot this week, which helped them. That also Philadelphia's 2-4 week. Now 2 of those losses came directly at the hands of Montreal, but still, you go 5-1, they go 2-4. You're going to make up some ground. The Padres got frisky this week at 5-1, and the Rangers slide continues down there at 1-5.
Good draft pick.
Just a bad year in Texas. So they never pitch very well, but nobody's hitting. And for the Rangers fans, I like to let you know that spring training is happening right now in Major League Baseball. Should be an exciting year in Arlington. But that's the week it was. And then I started to track down here at the bottom who our game of the week was. So we can keep track of who's played, who hasn't, who we still need to get on the broadcast. We do want to get every team on. So we'll see how that goes as the season progresses. So let me get out of that. And now we're looking at what the actual standings are right now. Not anti-Philadelphia at all, but I like, I would rather have some division races since we don't have wild cards. You got to win your division to get in. So I'd like to see it a little more competitive. So seeing Montreal crawl up, Houston get a little closer, Cincinnati make some strides. LA, it's just up and down for the Dodgers all year. And unfortunately, the American League, unless the Angels or the Guardians get kind of peppy, or the A's maybe return to form, there's just not much going on in the American League.
Yeah, the South, man.
I mean, it's the same as last year, and we weren't sure if the Knights were just that good or if they were feasting on a weak division. And now it's the same question basically in year 2. So we'll see. I would like to see. Tampa was good early, and then
I was gonna say they were playing 500 ball at least for a while.
Yeah, they probably changed the most from a roster standpoint year over year, but just not working out there in the South. So we'll take a look at our schedule. This is actually tomorrow's schedule, and we'll be playing Milwaukee at Boston. So let's take a look.
Good picture of Fenway there.
Yeah, it's from the COVID season, so there's no fans, but such a good shot of Fenway that I decided to go with it. So all these weapons, and we got Carl Mays.
Love it.
5 and 6, 4, 7, 8. All right, and then looks like they're starting Brandon Woodruff. I thought it would have been.
We'll get Bob Stanley in early. It'll be.
Yeah, exactly right. Woodruff is okay. So Woodruff has pitched a couple times, but not much. So healthy enough to have a full pitch count. So advantage pitching wise, at least to Milwaukee. So anyway, we're Boston, so we're facing a right-hander. We'll look at how the Red Sox stack up. Again, this is the stats for this season in Eternal Baseball based on OPS, and all world can't stop him. Ted Williams is through the roof good, which is good because last year it was obvious his numbers were a little depressed. So nice to see Ted. I don't even know if this is amped or if this is just Ted. So good for him.
Check out Rob's comment real fast.
Oh, who's this?
You'll enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Coming right up. Man, I'm sure the problem sometimes Manny ends up playing right field, right? Because I don't think anybody's going up to Ted Williams and saying, "Excuse me, Mr. Williams." But
Mr. Williams.
So if Manny needs to use the bathroom in the Green Monster, it's a long run from right field, man. But
was he known to do that once in a while?
Yeah, one time the inning couldn't start because they couldn't find Manny. And there is apparently like a tiny urinal inside there. I think for the guy who has to manually change the scoreboard all game.
Yeah.
So Manny went in there to use the bathroom, and they're about to start the inning, and there's no Manny. Right?
He just dropped a bomb on that poor guy. Like it's like there's no ventilation in here, Manny. My word, so
they made this before electricity.
It's just a pit toilet.
Pretty much, right? Just a bucket. So anyway, Ted is the man, but 3 of the top 4 hitters they have here are left-handers. And the one kind of outlier here is a little bit down in the lineup, but the likely third baseman is Boggs, who's got the best on-base percentage of anybody except Ted. So there is the possibility to slide Boggs way up. But either way, we're going to be very lefty-heavy at the top of the lineup.
Let's do it.
So where do you see Ted? 3
I think
or
you
4?
Put him in the 2-hole.
Put him second?
Yeah, isn't that what all the new the stat heads
The
recommending?
Yeah, I mean he is far and away their best hitter. So he only has a chance to have one guy on ahead of him if you hit him 2.
Let's hit him 2. Let's go with the numbers, Mark.
And then Boggs to lead off because of the on base.
Let's see.
Or do you like it's Boggs, Manny, Yastrzemski, or Mo Vaughn? Those are your guys for the top of the lineup.
Let's go Boggs, Yaz.
Wait a minute. Boggs leading off?
Yeah. Or sorry. Yeah. And then 3. Let's do Yaz at 3.
Okay. Yaz
Mo in the
center.
Yeah, cleaning up.
Mo clean up. And then Manny. 4 lefties in a row. You okay with that?
Ortiz, we can DH, right?
You can DH Ortiz.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's just throw a bunch of lefties at him.
All right, and then Manny will end up playing right. Bogarts, who's putting his house up for sale today.
Well, it sounds like Story's going to play second, huh?
I think for this year, it's A-Rod Jeter all over again, right? Like
Right.
they're not going to not in the well. He's got a player opt out in Bogarts' deal, so and it wasn't that bad a deal. I'm sure Boston would like him to keep it, but the scuttle is that he wasn't going to even before they signed Trevor Story. So
Oh, okay,
it
gotcha.
looks like actually it's probably more like the Dodgers last year where they traded for Trey Turner, and it was like Corey Seager, you could write him off at that point. Not for playing, but for staying. Right? See you
Yeah,
later.
gotcha.
Bogarts at shortstop, Ortiz at DH,
So what do we need? We need
Pedroia,
a
Pedroia probably at second. It's usually him or Cronin, and Cronin's numbers are not as good. And then Veritek catcher.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Rich Gedman, man. What are we thinking? Thinking Rich Gedman?
I think Rich Gedman's hitting 194 against righties. So
we'll get you in, Gedman. Don't you worry.
If ever there was a caddy, it's Rich Gedman. So, all righty, we're ready for baseball.
Welcome to Fenway Park for tonight's game between Milwaukee and Boston. Brandon Woodruff gets the start for Milwaukee. Team starts on the year and is 3-5 with an earned run average of 4.76. His first start against Boston. He'll be opposed by Carl Mays for Boston. He's made 12 starts on the year and is 5-6 with an earned run average of 4.78. His first start against Milwaukee. It's 48 degrees, wind speed 4 miles per hour, in from right field. Pitching for Boston, Carl Mays. Leading off for Milwaukee, second baseman, Paul Molitor.
Play ball!
We should have traded for Molitor.
Yeah, he was funny that he could be pretty much a no doubt Hall of Famer and was pretty much underrated his whole career.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Could play anywhere, good defensively, good bat, ran the bases.
Kind of Yount too, right? Like,
Yount's one of those guys I just shake my head at. The idea that he could be a starting shortstop in the big leagues at 18 years old.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Ridiculous. And then, not that shortstop to center field has never been done, but to be a very good shortstop and an outstanding center fielder, like, man, pretty good. Actually, I saw there was a photo on an Astros page today that showed it was like 3 Astros looking mean in the clubhouse. It was obviously a big promotional shot, and it was Ken Caminiti and Craig Biggio and like Gerald Young. I don't know who the third guy was. Real skinny outfield type. But Biggio had on all the catcher stuff except the headgear. And somebody on the Astros page said, "Is this a goof? Why'd they dress Biggio up as a catcher?" And I'm like, buddy, no offense for not knowing it, but I don't think there's a bigger salute defensively than Biggio coming up as a catcher and winning a gold glove in both center field and second base.
Yeah.
And when he played in the outfield is when they had that ridiculous
the knoll, right?
The hill in center field with a flagpole at the top of it just to make sure you die. It only happened a couple times because I think guys were scared, especially visiting guys, were scarily aware of that hill. But once or twice, a guy just running back on a dead fly, head looking back over his shoulder. And then all of a sudden your foot hits, ground that's 4 inches higher than it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
they're lucky somebody didn't break their tibias.
Oh yeah. Or eat it and end up kissing the flagpole on the slide. Like, dude, you put an uphill in center field with a flag. Why didn't you put spikes on the flagpole?
It was you get a sense it was some like architectural firm intern that was getting ready to quit and it's like, okay, screw this, and just added it at the last second right before they presented it.
Some guy left it in as a gag and they forgot to hit delete.
You're right, it's the wrong one.
Off we go. All right, here we go. Carl Mays. Oh boy.
Wow.
Veritek's not going to get it.
First baseman, Cecil Cooper.
It was a double off the monster. Oh, wait.
What did it say?
It's a hit to the fence. Looks like Williams leaps, can't get it. Molitor around second, Williams to second. I think maybe I've got the catching area for Fenway Park a little messed up in the settings. We'll see as the game goes on. But Veritek's going to get his legwork in today. Cecil Cooper. All right. Yaz dive, 34% chance to catch this screaming liner.
Yes.
And what I found is I was pretty hesitant early on with this stuff, thinking, well, if it gets past him, it's a triple. But sometimes if you dive and miss, you just trap it.
It's
so
Yaz.
It's a single anyway.
It's Yaz.
Yeah, get it, Yaz. Oh, Yaz pulls it in.
Shortstop, Robin Yount.
Look at him.
Yeah, I mean, and this is old Robin Yount.
Looks like Bo Duke's older brother.
It's
or Luke Duke. Sorry, Luke Duke.
Right. With the 308 signing, it looks like a pirate, kind of hard. And the mustache, but all right, Robin Yount.
Yes, catcher, number 11, Dave Nilsson.
I would have completely forgot about Dave Nilsson, late 90s catcher for the Brewers. But I mean, let's be honest, the Brewers catching legacy ain't that deep, especially since Ted Simmons belongs to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So, but Nilsson, at least with the bat, was really something. And he was I think he might have been the first Australian big leaguer, or at least as a position player. So I remember Graham Lloyd, the pitcher for the Yanks, was Australian. But Nilsson, I think, hung it up at like 31, maybe like a year after an All-Star game or an All-Star berth, and went back home and tried to generate more excitement for Australian baseball.
Really?
And so he was only there like 6 seasons, but at least 3 of them were really good. So Dave Nilsson, good to see you. And another good example of fans cluing us in, because I wouldn't have remembered Dave Nilsson.
Pitching for Milwaukee, number 53, Brandon Woodruff.
So Rob's like, so I'm rooting for the computer then.
Wade,
yeah,
Bonds.
Pretty much. Brandon Woodruff, good redheaded son of Ireland right there. Pretty happy with that. Wade Boggs, though.
Oh.
Left fielder, number 9, Ted Williams.
We might need a picture of Vernitz where his head isn't quite as prominent.
Gorman Thomas was the center fielder in Milwaukee for like a decade, I think, right? I don't know why he's in right with Vernitz, a 4 in center field, especially given this damn triangle in Boston, right? Like, I don't know. Ted Williams.
Strike 3.
Center fielder, Carl Yastrzemski.
Only in Eternal Baseball. Ted Williams striking out in first inning.
There we go.
Third baseman, Don Money.
Our old friend
Don Money! Love that guy.
Good for you, Don. And for people who don't know, Don Money was the second best defensive third baseman in baseball for about 12 years. At the same time as Brooks Robinson from Baltimore won, I think, 15 straight Gold Gloves. So it didn't matter who was second, right? It was just like, who's the second best ever behind Jordan? That's what it was like. And so Don Money was a sensational player. But he played in Milwaukee, didn't get much pub. And if you ever tried to bring up what a great third baseman Don Money was, everybody in the late 60s and 70s said, well, there's no Brooks Robinson. Like, fine, whatever. And we made fun of him because he sounds like the most Dick Tracy villain of all time. Don Money's moving some H down by the train
down by the wharf.
Right? That's it. And then he murdered us. Slaughtered us in the game. So So of course we got totally respectful, but stuck with the Italian angle and went, Don Money, we respect you. We would never try to move in on your territory, Don Money.
It's your wharf, man.
So Don Money, let's see it.
See, we showed him a little respect, and he showed us some
designated
respect.
hitter, Prince Fielder.
Hey,
until the 9th.
Notice the bat is silver, right? Nice. Silver slugger.
Love it.
Yes, is all
Center fielder, Jeremy Vernitz.
Now, I know Red Sox fans are probably screaming, Yaz never played center. Well, he did a little bit. And his numbers there were pretty good defensively. So all time, what Boston ends up with in center, and this is because of Ted Williams and Jim Rice and Manny Ramirez and JD Martinez, and they just got a lot of talent in the corner outfield spots. So they end up with Yaz and Mookie Betts playing center most of the time. And Mookie absolutely could have played center. He was a brilliant right fielder, but they had Jackie Bradley Jr. there at most of their similar seasons. And if Bradley's not out there for his glove, Bradley shouldn't be out there. So that's how you end up with Yaz and center.
You don't run on Manny
Left
Ramirez.
fielder, Ben Ogilvy.
But you could on Veritek, but not at 63%.
All right.
I'll let you hit and run if you want, but
no, we're wrong team, right?
oh, well, that's not us.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think we all kind of wanted to be Milwaukee, but it just
Yeah, see, it's bleeding through a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going.
Oh, cowboy up, Jeremy
I told
Vernitz.
Mo.
Cowboy up.
People forget how terrifying Mo Vaughn was in his Boston days. Like,
right, Prince Fielder too, man.
Yeah.
There's a couple years there. Holy cow.
I think the fact that Mo left bothers Red Sox fans, and the fact that he was never anywhere near that good for Anaheim, right?
Right.
So it was one of those where they cut bait at the right time. But if you remember prime Mo Vaughn, he was violently good and still is today in the Turtle baseball. Keeps Ortiz on the bench.
Right fielder, Manny Ramirez.
There's our boy, man. Oh, past the money, man.
Shortstop, number 2, Xander Bogaerts.
Hey, Manny's 61% to steal second.
You know what, man? Let's do it. Let's make this happen.
Come on, Manny.
Yeah, dude. 61? That's a go. Well, yeah. Let's get him in a scoring position. Let's do it. All right. Well, okay. I have Xander hit, and then we'll steal.
You can hit and run if you want.
We'll steal with 2 outs. Then we'll get him in a scoring position.
Oh, Bogarts is serving it up. Manny stays.
Designated hitter, David Ortiz.
Big Poppy. Serving it back up.
There we go. Send him.
Second baseman, number 15, Dustin Pedroia.
If they don't give us the option, it means it was less than 30%. And they're saving us from our worst instincts. So.
Right. Rob said, don't even mention Mo Vaughn's stint with the Mets.
Oh, I forgot about that, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Not in his pants. Hey, Sun Devil, Dustin Pedroia comes up. Bases loaded.
This could be it right here. The game.
That's true. %44 chance for Bogarts at home with 1 out.
I forget who's up next. Is it?
If it's Pedroia,
Veritek,
yeah, who might be tired from that run in the first inning.
that was a long sprint. Let's send him. Let's push the issue.
Send him at 44%.
Oh, whatever.
With 1 out. 1 out.
Voice of reason.
Ball.
So irritating. All right.
Yeah. Now dig this line.
Catcher, Jason Varitek.
For Varitek.
Now let's Gedman. What are we thinking?
He's Varitek so far today. Follow me here. 0 for 0 with 1 run. Because he's out there beyond the monster. Don't know why.
Oh man, Cowboy up. I take it back. Oh, they're sending Big Poppy.
Third baseman, Wade Boggs.
Jeez.
Tremendous work here by the Red Sox offense.
I wish you would have let me run outside of the inning there.
I thought that was a sac fly. It's actually a double for Boggs. 2 runs are in.
Pitching for Milwaukee, number 15.
We ran. We chased
Peralta.
Wow.
Left fielder, Ted Williams.
Took Woodruff to the woodshed, and now Freddie Peralta.
Center fielder, Carl Yastrzemski.
Outrageous.
How far away is everybody in the dugout from 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, Ted Williams today? Like, sits down,
Wow.
yes. All right, Carl Mays. I was going to say, you got a 5-0 lead. Let's
Right
not
fielder,
waste it.
Gorman, Thomas.
Gorman.
Look at that. Looks like you should be a trucker. I mean,
Right?
really.
Yeah. I mean, that guy would drink you underneath the table.
Man.
No doubt.
Oh, boy.
You're going to have to get Bob
Second
Stanley
baseman,
up.
Paul,
Right.
Molitor.
See what we got here, actually. Not that we're going there, but I just wanted to see our options.
Smokey Joe Wood.
So it's not obviously Cy Young, Pedro, or Roger Clemens. I'm not sure who their 5 starter is right now.
Smokey
Think
Joe
on that.
Wood. Oh, we could put the spaceman in.
Yeah, Spaceman Billy, who I saw pitch for the Savannah Bananas a couple, or maybe it was last season. It's an old clip. If you've never seen the Savannah Bananas,
I have never seen the Savannah Bananas.
oh, dude, it's a unaffiliated pro but minor league club down in Georgia, and they do ridiculous stuff. They're essentially the Globetrotters of baseball. They had a guy bat on stilts. His strike zone was ridiculous. The umpire had to sit on a chair to accurately call the strike zone, and the guy wasn't laying him in there. But I think it was on a very high curve ball. He hit a fly ball to shallow left and got thrown out at first, but then got a bunch of high fives on his way back to the dugout. Like,
that's awesome.
They do just weird, incredible stuff. Their post game press conferences on the field for the player of the game. He has to chug a gallon of milk while answering questions, and he can't leave, I think, until all the milk is gone.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude. So if you've never checked them out, check out the Savannah Bananas. They do ridiculous work. They present a baby before the game. One of the fans, you can sign up for it. And they have the baby in like a zipped up puffy banana costume, and they present him like Simba to the animals. They hold him up, they play the whole Lion King thing, and the sign up for it is like more than 18 months out. So for people signing up, they're not even pregnant yet.
Oh, man.
And they're trying to get their baby in line for the Savannah Bananas. So
that's wild.
You see Tion's there, Dick Raditz, Ellis Kinder.
So Rob, what did Rob say here? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. That's one of my favorite understated lines in Major League is when he goes, Clu Haywood steps to the plate. You led the league in most offensive categories, including nose hair. All right.
Uh-oh, is that sneaking back in?
Get Ted. All over it. Guy was
First
a fighter
baseman,
pilot.
Cecil Cooper.
Cecil Cooper. Who hit? God, Cooper hit like 381 one year.
Shortstop,
Yeah.
Robin
Right?
Yount.
And he was always a good hitter. Actually, a Red Sox originally. I didn't know that until I started poking around for Eternal Baseball. And yeah, hit 3. I remember he was one of those guys you'd get in a card pack circa 86, 87 and go, eh. And then I remember just looking at the back of his card and going, 310, 312, 381.
Yeah.
Like, that's a May number. That's not a back of the card number.
Catcher, Dave Nilsson.
Oh, man, we're almost good. Come on, Carl Mays.
Oh, boy. Get
Is
it,
he on
yes.
that? Get there, yes.
That was in the air a long
First baseman,
time.
M.O. Vaughn.
But we're clean.
M.O. Vaughn.
2-3. Here's M.O. Vaughn. I think I tried to fix it and it got worse.
It's just gone with Maurice. I'm assuming that's his full name.
I think I did M.O.H.
M.O.
I think I did Mo.
Mo.
Okay.
That'll work.
I spent a long time last week trying to get Stottlemyre correctly.
Woo.
Right
Not
fielder,
easy. And
Manny
Nomar.
Ramirez.
A lot harder than you'd think.
It was.
Get Nomar right. Nomer. Nomer. He's hurt right now, so I'll spare you. But
Yeah, look at Rob nailed it.
He's Cajun.
Oh, Don Money had a poor
Xander
play.
Bogarts.
What is going on here?
Don Money. I'm not even going to say it.
That's stinky. You didn't give me a chance to send Ramirez.
Nope.
Designated hitter,
Now you
David
can.
Ortiz.
9%. Take 30.
All right, Ortiz. Oh,
Not quite.
Third baseman, Don Money.
Don Money.
hold your breath. Oh, no. Did he
Head going back. He's got it.
Designated hitter, Prince Fielder.
So far, Carl Mays absolutely getting it done.
Center fielder, Jeremy Vernitz.
Strike 3.
Second baseman, Dustin Pedroia.
Pedroia. No, fine. I'll allow it.
Catcher, Jason Varitek.
Strike 3.
Third baseman, Wade Boggs.
Varitek and Derek Lowe for Cliff Slocum. Wasn't that the deal? Originally that sent him from Seattle to Boston.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And Slocum was awful in Seattle. So just even worse, right? You could just see the Mariner fans who were in it that year out of nowhere being like, Slocum sucked. Get rid of him. Man, I hope neither of those guys turn out for Boston. Oh, boy.
I forgot about Lowe. Yeah, he had a couple good seasons there. Huh?
He really did.
Did he boot
Paul
that?
Molitor
Fielder,
boots
Ted
it.
Oh,
Williams.
Literally says Molitor boots it. Boggs deferred.
Well, at least he didn't strike out.
Exactly, right? Save the Gatorade cooler.
Left fielder, Ben Ogilvy.
That's not bad, actually, for Ogilvy. Oh, boy.
Wow, that was a laser.
Whew.
Jump, yes.
He got hit the bull. He gets a
Right
free
fielder.
steak.
Gorman Thomas.
Not much doubt for Mr. Ogilvy, who was voted onto the roster by our fans in the
Second
in the
baseman,
offseason.
Paul Molitor.
That's something too we're going to see. I believe next year in internal baseball. Get ready for the DH in the National League.
Yeah.
That'll change things up a little bit. I'm not sure where I'm at on that as a baseball fan.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm sort of on the
First baseman.
I understand the rationale, but
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they're doing it, but I kind of like the difference between the two leagues.
yeah.
But the one thing I can't be more excited about is banning the shift. Ban the shift, baby, dude. It's just when people were arguing about it when that first came down, and I would just throw out on threads. I'd say, "Hey, what's your favorite shift play of all time? You know, defensively. Do you remember one at all? Because I'll take more base hits and more actual defensive highlights from guys in their positions having to range one way or the other
Yeah.
versus the softball rover in right field catching
Yeah.
screaming line drives all game.
Well, it just is disconcerting because you'd see it, you'd see the angle off the bat and be like, oh, wow, he roped that. And then there's two fielders right there. It's like,
Right.
wait, what?
I love seeing pitchers with a couple runners on and a guy hits a tapper, which either the third baseman or the shortstop would normally get. And he turns around and just goes, what the f-? Because there's just one guy out there going, dude, I got all this.
So did they decide that they basically just section it up? So you could, as a shortstop, you could stand basically right on the line where second base.
All they've said is that they're going to ban the shift the following year, but they haven't really gotten into it.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
It was Jason Stark wrote a good article about it, and he said you don't actually have to ban the shift; you just have to require four infielders on the dirt when the pitch is thrown. So if you want to put three guys on the left side or the right side, be my guest. But you can't park them out in shallow left or shallow right.
Gotcha.
So shift if you want, but he said that he felt that would solve most of it. And I agree that hitters should have been able to adapt, but they didn't, and they refused to, and it's helped make the game boring. So
yeah, Rob agrees.
Yeah, it's because he's a smart guy. He's really been dead on all year, except for that time I had to ban him for his sin, proximity.
It's good though. You keep all the fans on their toes, right?
Yeah, nobody's safe. We don't play favorites. I'll ban any one of you.
Shortstop.
It's like Russian roulette when you join our broadcast.
Which one of you am I going to ban?
Look to your left, look to your right. One of you won't be here by the end of the broadcast.
Right. Robin Yount off the monster, it looks like. Going for 3.
Oh, we got him.
Catcher.
Ah,
Nilsson.
Man, a triple down the line in Boston? It must have got stuck in the wall or hit down. There's actually a ladder in fair ground in Fenway Park, right down the line in left field. And I've never seen a ball hit it, but I would love to see one on the fly. Just tear them off that thing like crazy.
Man, Teddy baseball's having a tough game here.
Yeah, exactly, right? My favorite Red Sox, which is a short list, I'll be honest.
Center fielder, Carl Yastrzemski.
All right, Yastrzemski.
Pommel. Strike 3.
First baseman, Mo Vaughn.
See, I brought him back to the world of actually correctly pronouncing your name.
Doing good work here, Webb.
Mo Vaughn. Run, Mo.
Oh,
Did he?
look at that hustle, man.
Oh,
Right
come
fielder,
on.
Manny
he'll never
Ramirez.
hustle again. See what I get you? That's got a chance. Oh, dude.
Oh, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
I guess we could see it go
Shortstop,
over the
Xander
monster there.
Bogarts.
Whoa.
Maybe.
Yeah. No.
Vernitz
Third
with the
baseman.
range.
Don Money.
I ain't got nothing to say about Don Money. Because that's what he does.
Designated hitter, Prince Fielder.
Oh, he's gonna steal second. Here it comes.
You want to pick him off? Pitch out?
Should we pitch out on Don Money? That might just make him angry though for late innings.
You want to pick him off?
Let's pick him off. Yeah, that shows some respect, right?
Keeps him close. 40%
All right.
now.
All right. Let's give up a 2-run homer.
Look at man. All that hair. And a beautiful glove.
Center fielder, Jeremy Vernitz.
Ball 4.
Remember when the Mets thought Jeremy Vernitz and Mark Carey
Left fielder, Ben Ogilvy.
outfielders of the future?
Rob has a funny comment about the.
Oh, yeah. Yankee fan Robin Rosario says. Boggs, Clemens, Mookie. Get it, Wade. That's a good play right there. Oh, it might get it.
Wow.
Look at Wade.
Designated
Boggs
hitter,
Wade Boggs.
David
ripping off the
Ortiz.
slick double play.
Second baseman, Dustin Pedroia.
Is that a crazy story today that Ortiz hired some private investigators to find out who shot him a couple years ago?
I didn't see it. Who was it?
It was like a guy he knew who turned out to be a drug dealer who was supposedly jealous of his fame and success. Who's trying to shoot David Ortiz?
Wow.
I mean, and I guess the initial investigation down in the Dominican Republic said that it was mistaken identity. The killers were actually shooting at the guy at the table with Ortiz, and I'm like, you're gonna mistake David Ortiz in a public spot, right? Like, I'm sure he wasn't just sitting there quietly, eating a tamale. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the assumption is that they maybe scoped out the shooting scene to make sure that they had a clear shot at the guy supposedly they were shooting at, and they didn't notice it was David Ortiz next to him.
Right? They hit Ortiz by accident. Like, how bad are these hitmen?
Well, it's like, yeah, maybe should we wait a half hour after they part ways after dinner here? What do you guys think? Like,
if you aren't sure if the guy at the table is David Ortiz at the restaurant and can't figure it out by the volume of food orders,
or the diamond studded earring,
right?
That was reflecting off
or the fact that before he picks up the silverware, he goes, like, come on. Shot David Ortiz by
So
accident.
did they arrest him? I mean, did the cops like,
turns out they had, I guess the private investigators Ortiz had fingered this as the guy, but they weren't gonna mention it until he was in custody. I guess the guy was in custody.
Gotcha.
For other offenses, and I think he's in like Puerto Rico, like somewhere the U.S. can get to him. So the story just came out today that the long running MLB mystery, who shot Big Papi? I guess we
and then local cops are like, oh yeah, we were running a parallel investigation the whole time.
That's it. And again, not to make fun of it because he got shot, but he survived and he's good. So what is it? A tragedy plus time equals comedy. So there we go.
I like it.
Pedro.
Catcher, Jason Varitek.
Corman Thomas, like Willie Mays out there.
Fielder, Gorman Thomas.
I can't tell if that's Varitek because I can't see the C on his uniform. There's ever anything more lame than putting a C on the uniform. You want to name a captain? God bless you, right? But nobody puts the C on the uniform.
You're just bitter about, was it 2004?
Well, yes. And I'm sure some Sox fans like, you're mad that he punched A-Rod in the face. No.
Nope, nobody's mad about that. Not a soul.
Everybody was happy about that. Hey, that's another thing to look forward to in the baseball season. Replace
second baseman
A-Rod with David Cohn
Molitor
on Sunday Night Baseball. And if you haven't heard Cohn, because he does a lot of Yankee broadcasts, he's great.
Oh, is he good?
Oh, a ton of insight. Doesn't talk about himself very much. And when he does, it's usually something he did that was embarrassing, right? So, yeah.
And so did they shift A-Rod somewhere else? Or
yeah, they're going to do a, like the Mannings do on Monday Night Football.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
They're going to do that with A-Rod and somebody. I forget who the other guy is.
I know this is kind of a hot take and unpopular, but A-Rod was better than I thought he was going to be. And I actually was surprised that I wasn't totally overwhelmingly angry every time I heard him do a broadcast.
I don't think his insight is bad.
Yeah.
I just think his popularity is way overrated. Like, I don't think people tune in like, oh, A-Rod's going to be calling this game. So maybe some of his good insight is actually lost on deaf ears from people like me who are like, I don't hear this guy. I couldn't wait for him to be gone. Now I got to hear him every Sunday night. Like, I'm still mad they let John Miller go. He was so good.
And is he still with? Did he go back to San? I forget whatever happened to Miller.
Yeah,
is he back in San Francisco? Yeah, okay.
He's with the Giants. Like,
gotcha.
When I worked in radio, we would put him on the air anytime. Just smart, funny, great voice.
Great voice.
Loved the whole John Miller, Joe Morgan combo. Just waiting for Joe Morgan to tear up whoever dared to play second base in front of him. All right.
There can be only one.
Right? The only one I ever heard
first baseman
get a pass
Cecil Cooper.
So the Cubs were on Sunday night, and he had nothing. He didn't praise him a bunch. He couldn't rip him apart. So
he just didn't mention him.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So, Joe, you got any insight on 8-time Gold Glover Ryan Sandberg? Well, he doesn't get to all the balls he used to, but man, tough guy. There's Cecil Cooper padding that 381.
Jeez.
Shortstop.
I'm not even paying attention to the game.
Count.
Right?
We have a nice, comfortable 4-run lead.
Yeah. It's fine.
Catcher, Dave Nilsson.
Dave Nilsson steps in. Oh, Mays is starting to getting close there. That's 110 pitches. We should probably think about where we're at here.
Rob was mentioning something about Terry Francona being good.
Francona's good everywhere for a U of A guy.
Was he U of A?
Yeah. So again, give him credit for having the career he's had with no college education. But Peralta's, he must have been on limited rest because he's already tired at 81 pitches. But for us,
All right, it's Bob Stanley time. Let's do this.
Stanley didn't even make it. But who do we got? We don't need starters really now. We'll be in the top of the 8th. So
Bob Stanley, not a steroid user.
notice who's not here. Friggin' Papelbon, who was awful all year and eventually got sent down.
Is he an actor? Oh, he's an actor.
Yeah. So it looks like Whitlock is the guy with Kinder and Raditz as the setup. So
right.
it's like Dick Raditz. I might go by Richard, but up to him. As Wade Boggs steps in.
Who do we have? Keith Folk? Is that who's closing?
Folk is in Chicago's White Sox.
Oh,
Left fielder, Ted.
Yeah, felt bad for that guy, man. He threw his arm off to win that 04 series. Was never the same, and they booed him in 05 because he was terrible. And I'm like, he left his arm on the mound.
Right.
Like, come on.
Rob, I think Rob has our solution.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I forgot about Schiraldi.
Yeah, that was a bad pen. That 86 Sox trotted out to the World Series. All right, Ted Williams on base where he belongs.
Right. Send him.
Center fielder, Carl Yastrzemski.
Just you got to get me in the ballpark, Ted.
Yeah, you're not helping us, Ted. Oh, yes, laces one to center. Goes for 2. He's in there.
First baseman, Mo Vaughn.
Mo Vaughn. Oh, we're loaded up. And
All
Freddie
right.
Peralta's tired. Oh,
Pitching for
Wickman.
Milwaukee, Bob Wickman.
I liked Wickman.
Right fielder,
as a Yank.
Manny Ramirez.
He goes around in that transition from the dark years of 90 to 93. So anybody who wasn't awful was beloved in my book. Molitor Perez, love you. Bob Wickman, you bet. Anybody who's not embarrassing is a big step up. So here's Manny with the bases loaded. 1 out.
Oh, that's a run. That's a run.
Well, that's a sack, yeah. Run, Ted.
He's going. He's going.
85% chance.
Oh,
save.
of course.
Yeah, they didn't even throw.
Shortstop, Xander Bogaerts.
Okay.
Ball 4.
X-Man.
Take your
now.
base.
Yeah, Rob. Let's see. Rob was talking about Papelbon
Designated
and
hitter,
Ted Williams in the same dugout.
That's a good point. I don't know if there's any. I can't think of a reliever more universally reviled. Like they hated him in Philly. He went to Washington and was a jerk. Like
Maybe probably John Rocker. I think may have.
yeah, but did Braves fans turn on him eventually?
I don't know.
But yeah, I guess everybody else didn't care. Poppy with a screamer down the line.
I just always picture John Rocker saying, "This is off the record, right?" After he talked to the guy for like 3.5 hours.
Money.
Oh, yeah, Rob was on the same one, yeah.
Looks like Carl Mays can throw 145 pitches before he gets tired.
Every time they say they're strong, they usually give a dinger, but we got a little room to work with. So,
And our history with previously trustworthy relievers ain't the best. So we got a 5-run cushion to deal with here. So maybe we'll ride this a little bit. I ain't saying nothing about Don Money.
Designated hitter, Prince, fielder.
do we sit? Oh man,
We might need him.
Center fielder, Jeremy Vernitz.
Dick Raditz is ready. Should we need him? Get it, Manny. All right.
Left fielder, Ben Ogilvy.
Good day so far for Ben, who's had a tough season. 2 for 3 so far.
there we
Over
go.
X.
Second baseman, Dustin Pedroia.
All right, Justin.
Catcher, Jason Varitek.
Ball 4.
Now we're talking.
Send it. Can we just send him?
Third baseman,
That's up to you,
Wade
Brent. It's on
Boggs.
you. 5-run lead, but they're probably not expecting it.
Hey, hit and run. Let's hit and run. It's Boggs.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Right. No.
Poop.
Ah!
That's on
Boggs.
Boggs. That's not on
I'm
me.
not
That's
mad at
on Boggs.
Veritek. I'm mad at Boggs. Hung him out to dry
Ball 4.
and then walked.
Left fielder, Ted Williams.
0 for 3. Ted steps in.
Man, tough game.
Oh, he got some of
Oh.
that, though. Gorman is all over it.
Right fielder, Gorman Thomas.
And now he's up. So look out.
Pinch hitting for Milwaukee, number 8, Ryan Braun.
I was talking about Ryan Braun. May as well wear a black hat to the dish. All right. As he deserved.
Second baseman, Paul Molitor.
I'm just rolling with Mays here, even though he's going to be tired in 11 pitches.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. He's pitched pretty well.
I just don't trust. What do I know about Carl Mays? But I know the relievers betray us all the time.
First baseman, Cecil Cooper.
All right, Cooper, last hope. And winner.
All right.
The final
Yeah.
score from Fenway
Kind of on
Park,
a win streak
Boston
here. Aren't we?
7, Milwaukee 2.
Yeah.
Carl Mays picks up the win. He is now 6-6 on the season. Brandon Woodruff is the loser. He is now 3-6. Ben Ogilvy hit home run number 4 on the season. Manny Ramirez hit number 22. Time of the game, 3 hours, 35 minutes.
MVP Manny Ramirez. 3 for
Oh, they
3
all
with
have
home.
plus stuff too.
Yeah, that surprised me. Look at Woodruff had really good stuff. And he got lit. I mean, it is the Red Sox. Like, look at that lineup. But Manny Ramirez, 3 for 3, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. I forget what his homer was. Solo shot. 355. Looked like better than that, but fine. So let's give it up for the Boston Red Sox. Big 7-2 win over Milwaukee. Carl Mays evens his record at 6-6. What we're looking forward to tomorrow, the big game on the schedule, Montreal and Philadelphia. A win in Olympic Stadium, and the Expos will tie for first place in the National League East. So looking
It's exciting.
I ain't got no hate for Philadelphia, but it's exciting to see Montreal playing well this year as our only breakout team. That's a lot better than they were in season 1. So that's Eternal Baseball. If you like what you saw, you can find all sorts of more Eternal Baseball stuff at our homepage. It's eternalbaseball.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. It's your favorite team's best players of all time competing for our second ever Eternal Championship. We're about 100 games in as we motor on towards the playoffs. And check us out if you like baseball. I guarantee you'll like what you find. So, for
Thanks,
Brent,
everyone.
I'm Mark.
That was
Thanks
fun.
for tuning in, and we will see you next time on. Let me time it right. The Eternal Baseball Podcast.